Hi, the purpose of this video is to introduce and provide a reference for the new QRAE 3 gas detectors that you're going to find on all of our apparatus. These replace the old QRAE Pluses as well as the multi-rays that we had before. What we're going to do is I'm going to start it up, go over all the parts, go over all the displays, how to charge it, how to bump test it, and how to use it. I'm going to start by turning it on using the power button just right here. Now when it starts up, you hold this down, you'll see all the lights flash, all those lights will come on, and it's going to go through its self-test and then sensor warm-up. And while it's going through that, I'm going to point out some of the other parts of this unit. First of all, we have the all too familiar intake. This is a filter, and it's designed to filter out any dust and water. Just like before, we're never going to use the unit without this filter. One thing that's different is you'll notice these ports. Each of these white ports is an exhaust port for the 4 sensors contained in the unit. So it's real important not to block these sensors or stick them in your turnout pocket where it's going to restrict any airflow to them. Here we've got our power button again, and this is our other button that will toggle it'll either toggle through the different screens or it'll select the different options. It changes based on what screen you're in. Back of the unit has a little clip. This is where the battery is, and then the charger hooks up here, and we'll go over how that works in a second. You'll notice when it flips over, the display also flips. Now, to get the backlight to come on, which could be handy, depending on what conditions you're in, you simply tip the unit. If you tip it straight up, the backlight will come on. If you lay it flat, the backlight will turn off. Now, this unit is equipped with a CO, an LEL, an H2S, and an oxygen sensor. Just like before, the CO is going to alarm at 35 parts per million. The LEL is going to alarm at 10% of the LEL. The H2S is going to alarm at 10 parts per million. And then the oxygen sensor is either going to alarm at 19.5 or 23.5, depending if you're high or low. So what I'm going to do is go over how to charge this next. So we have our charger that you'll find in the unit, and it doesn't have a typical plug. It's just got these ports. Well, that's what this charger is all about. This clips on the bottom, and it starts by you clip it on the front first, get it nice and centered, and you're going to rock it back until it clicks. When it comes on, you'll see this light. This light will come on red while it's charging, and it'll be green when it's done charging. This unit charges quite a bit faster than the last ones. It only takes about 2 hours for it to charge completely. When you take it off, it's real important to push down on this detent and make sure you don't break anything. Okay. If it's ever alarming and you want to quiet the alarm, one thing you can do, a little trick, is place your thumb over this portion right here. This is where the speaker is, and it'll quiet it down. This can happen when you're bump testing it, or if you get into an environment where it's really loud, you need to communicate. That's an option. So speaking of bump testing, I'm going to go over how to bump test it. Now it's really simple. All we have to do, each unit will have its own bottle, and you'll notice on the bottle right here what the different concentrations are. Now these are different than the last ones. The H2S is only 10% instead of 25, or 10 parts per million instead of 25. The CO is the same, the LEL is the same, but the O2 is different. The O2 is 18% instead of 20.9 like the last ones. So what we'll do, you're either going to have a demand regulator or you're going to have one of these regulators that you turn on. If it's one of these that you turn on, you simply turn it on first and then hook it up. What we're looking for is a reaction from the sensors. I'm going to put my thumb over that to quiet it down. Helps quite a bit. We should see a drop in the oxygen. We should see a spike in the other 3 sensors. Once we get a reaction, We're just gonna turn that off and let the unit clear out. One nice thing about each sensor having its own exhaust port is that they clear out quite a bit faster as well. You'll notice that they all drop really quickly, making the bump test a very quick and easy thing to do. So there's no excuse really not to do it. Some detector don'ts, some things we do not want to do is, obviously, firstly, do not submerge it in water. If it becomes contaminated or dirty, we're simply going to wipe it clean. The CO, this is not the big concern. The CO does take a little longer to clear out than the other sensors. We do not want to stick it in the tailpipe of a vehicle, as this poisons the sensors. Speaking of poisoning the sensors, there's a few other things that will do that. Silicone, for example. So if we're using any Armor All or Pledge or any silicone containing cleaner, what will happen is that it will adhere to the sensor inside the LEL sensor and essentially ruin it. Some other things, hand lotion. Do not put hand lotion on and then go mess with the detectors. As hand lotion has strong fragrances in it that will also poison the sensors. When it's time to turn it off, we're simply going to push the power button and we're going to hold it down. You should see it flash and go through its shutdown phase. These detectors should be charged every Sunday, and they should be bump tested as well every Sunday. They're going to be calibrated monthly. So at the beginning of the month, go to either make arrangements with an on-shift tech or myself, and we'll calibrate it. It's a simple process. That's another video. Thank you for your time. If you have any questions, please contact myself or any of the hazmat techs. Thank you.